Hello, I'm Aaron from AHSAJGF Food for Thought. I'm just making a quick video today about some Christmas Blackberry Brandy which I'm going to make. I've had my orders from Mrs H. I've got to get it done ready for Christmas, otherwise I'm going to get an ear roll in, so nobody wants that. So the first time I ever came across this was when I was out bush beating with some other people, and we all got bundled onto the back of a trailer, and an old guy that was there at the time, he looked just like Uncle Albert. Had a big white bushy beard and a flat cap, and we all sat down, and it was a bit cold. And he threw me his hip flask and he goes, "Yeah, boy, get some of that down here, that'll warm your cockles up." And it was blackberry brandy, and I'd never tried it before, and it is absolutely blooming lovely, and it's so easy to make that I've been making it ever since. I always make some sort of towards the end of the year, and we have it for kind of Christmas and whatever. So, but it tastes really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few different ingredients on how to make it, and we'll get on and make it. And basically, I think you could probably drink it after about 2 weeks, but I like to give it a good 4 to 6 weeks, and then it's really nice and drinkable, just ready for Christmas. Right, okay, so these are the things that you need to make the Christmas Blackberry Brandy. It's not hard, there's only 5 ingredients. So starting here, we've got a pound of blackberries, okay. We've got ½ pound of granulated sugar. We've got some whole spices. Don't use powder ones, because if you use powder ones, when you're drinking it will just stick to the back of your throat and it'll be a bit nasty. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got a quarter of a small nutmeg. Okay, quarter of a whole small nutmeg. Okay, I've got 2 cloves. It's powerful stuff this, so you don't need too much. And we don't want it to overpower the flavour of the brandy. It just wants to be quite subtle. And then we've got half a star anise. I've put this one on just to show you what it looks like, a star anise, just in case you haven't seen them. That isn't going to go in, you only want half. I've already cut one in half, but it kind of fell apart into these pieces here, so that isn't going to make it into the mixture, so I'll take that off now. So, and we've got half a small cinnamon stick. Okay, so this was like quite a skinny one, and I've cut it in half, and that's going to be absolutely plenty. So that's your spices. Okay, obviously, like I say, don't try using powder, because it won't work. It'll be horrible. Okay, and then what I've got here is I've just got the kind of the skin of a satsuma. These are amazing. These are. They just remind me of Christmas every time you peel one open and eat it. To me, that just smells like Christmas. Lovely. The reason I've put these 2 in, these aren't going to go into the mixture. The reason I put these in is because a lot of people see these and they think, oh, they're not ripe. But these are absolutely the best ones that you can get. If I peel that, okay. Oh, it smells amazing. I love the smell of these. They just remind me of Christmas when I was young. I used to get a few toys and some nuts and a couple of these in my stocking Christmas morning. And they're not like raw, they're not unripe, they're perfectly ripe. And they've got plenty of juice in them as well. So absolutely lovely. But what I find with these ones, they're unnaturally orange. They look, they almost glow in the dark. Just not natural at all. So rather than going to a supermarket and buying these, I prefer to just go down the market and buy these. You know, they don't look much, but they taste a lot nicer. So I'm going to take that out anyway. So basically, I'm going to put the skin of a whole satsuma into it as well. The reason I've not grated it and kind of used the peel, the grated peel, is because again you might struggle to strain it. If you just leave it whole like this, you're still going to get what flavour you want out of it. Okay, so that's that. And then obviously you need a bottle of brandy. We've only gone for like a kind of cheap 1 litre bottle of brandy. I wouldn't go for the cheapest you can get, but there's good brandy is too nice and you don't want to change the flavour at all. So we've just gone for one kind of cheap bottle of 1 litre of brandy. Okay, so these are the spices that I've used. These are the bottles. I've got cinnamon sticks, cloves. They're very powerful, so you don't have to use a lot of those. Whole nutmegs, but I've only used like 1/4 of a small one of those. Okay, and last but not least, star anise. So I've only used half of one of those as well. I'm not getting any endorsements by Swartz, by the way. It's just that these was on buy one get one free at the supermarket. So these are the things that you're going to need to make your blackberry brandy. Okay, so it's more or less as easy as just chucking it all in. But what I'm going to do with these whole spices, I'm going to take them to the stove, and I'm not going to cook them or colour them or anything like that. All I'm going to do is warm them up until you start to get the aroma off them, and then I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to add like a tiny small amount of water to it. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Okay, so we're going to sort our spices out now. So we're going to put the stove on a low heat. It's just on a low heat. We're going to use a dry pan, no oil, nothing. And what I've got under here, just below the camera, I've got an empty cup, and then I've got a shot glass. It hasn't got sambuca in it, it's just water. But I've got half a shot glass of cold water. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat these spices up on a low heat. We don't want to colour them. We don't want they're not cooking. It's just until you'll be able to smell the aroma of them. Okay. And once you can smell the aroma of all the spices, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip them out of the pan into the cup and then put the cold water on top. Okay, so what this does is it stops them from getting any hotter. It cools them down. It stops it in the tracks, and by heating up the spices rather than just chucking them in the brandy mixture, you kind of, I think you're helping them along the way. They kind of start the aroma, they release the flavours a bit quicker, and so it helps your brandy mixture. The water, when we put the water on the spices in the cup, we're going to keep all of that. The whole thing's going to go into the brandy mixture. Okay, so we're not going to like drain the water off or anything like that. It's only half a cup of it's only half of a shot glass, so that's not going to water your mixture down hardly at all. You won't even notice the difference. Okay, so we've got half a small cinnamon stick, 2 cloves, half a star anise, and 1/4 of a small nutmeg. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to empty them into the pan. Okay. You can kind of smell it straight away. Okay. Give them a mix around so they're not all in the same spot. Okay. So it's just going to take a few seconds. I've just turned the stove up just a tiny little bit. Okay. So all this does is it kind of helps release the flavour and the aroma. And once they start going, you'll smell it, and it'll smell absolutely lovely. And we need to be quick taking it out of the pan, then getting it in the cup and getting the water on. Okay. Okay, that's it. I can smell the spices now. So I'm going to take it straight off, get them in that cup, and get the water straight on it. Okay. You probably heard that. Okay. So now you've got your spices and your half cup of your half shot glass of water in there. So give them a little mix up, and they're done. That's it. So we're done with that part now. Okay. Alrighty then. So now we've got our spices done on the stove, and we've got the rest of our ingredients sat here waiting to be used. I've got myself a Tupperware tub. It's been sterilised. I did it with some boiling water. You don't need to, but it's just me. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to crack open our litre bottle of brandy. Yeah, it smells nice. Empty that into this Tupperware tub. Okay. Right, so what you can do is you can either keep the bottle, and then once your blackberry brandy is ready, just whack it back in there, or if you've got a nice decanter or something like that to put it in, then even better. Okay, so we've got our brandy in there. Next we're going to go with our ½ pound of granulated sugar. So that's going to go in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give it a good stir around. This will disintegrate and kind of dissolve into the brandy, but it sort of takes a few days. Some people put more sugar in than this, but what I like to do is I like to start off with ½ pound and then just add more to taste. The more sugar you add, the more it becomes like a liqueur, the more sugar you add, the thicker it gets. It can be like a syrup, if you like. But obviously it makes it a lot sweeter as well, adding sugar, that goes without saying. But and if you have more sugar, it thickens the liquid up, and then when you're kind of drinking it, it sort of really sticks to the side of your glass. I made some last year, and this year I'm putting slightly less sugar in than what I did then, because it was probably a little bit on the sweet side, to be honest. Okay, so we've given us a stir. So we've got our brandy in here, half a pound of sugar. Next we're gonna just throw in our spices and the water. Okay, so that's all going in now. Just make sure it's all out of there. Okay. So that's all gone in. The sugar will dissolve probably, I don't know, within 4 or 5 days, something like that. So don't worry about if the sugar hasn't dissolved. Okay. Then I'm going to put in the orange, the satsuma peel. The reason I've left this big and whole is because it's just easier when you're straining the mixture at the end. Okay, so that's going to go in there as well. That's that. And then we're going to add our pound of blackberries. Okay, so what a lovely juice going in there as well. Okay. Right, give it all a good stir up. Okay, so I put mine in this Tupperware tub. I keep a top on it. I think it would be good to drink after 2 to 3 weeks probably, but mine will be in here probably for about 6 weeks. So it's now 9th of October, so kind of thinking, I don't know, middle of November I'm going to try it and see what it's like. Okay, like I say, it's gonna stay in this container. But what I'm going to do is every day I'm going to give it a really quick stir. All you have to do, like a 5-second stir, give it a really quick stir, and then pop the top back on, and do that every day until it's ready. Okay. There it is. Okay, so we've got this, we've got a blackberry brandy mixture in the box, and we're going to leave it there for 6 weeks. I might try it after week 3, possibly again week 4, just a little bit at a time, just to see whether it needs any more sugar or not. Like I say, last time I made it, I think I put a bit too much sugar in it, to be honest. It still tasted lovely, but it was a bit on the sweet side, so I think hopefully this should be a lot better. So I hope this helps some of you and you get some enjoyment out of it. It does taste really nice, and yeah, give us a like and subscribe if you want to see some more cooking videos and stuff like this. Cheers. Alrighty then, it's now the 4th of November. The blackberry brandy's finished. I didn't have to leave it until the middle of December because I tasted it and I'm happy with the flavour. So basically I carried on stirring it, and I kept on checking for sweetness and stuff, and twice I put another 50 grams of sugar in, So if you remember, originally we started off by putting half a pound in, which is approximately, give or take, 225 grams. And then since then I've added another 100 grams. So in total you're looking at 325 grams. So if you're making this now, then you'll be fine. You can probably put the 325 grams in, but you could also wait and see. Your blackberries might be a bit sweeter than what mine was, or you never know. So it's always worth starting off, because you can always put in, but you can't take away. So the blackberry brandy is finished. You can see, because I've got my bottle label on. Look, Aaron's Christmas Blackberry Brandy 2017, fine vintage. Once it's all finished, because you've got the sort of juice out of the blackberries and you've got the sugar that you've put in as well, you always end up with a bit more than a litre bottle. So I've got a nice glass here, so I'm just going to try it. It does taste really nice. The one that I made, this is the first time I've made what I'm calling Christmas Blackberry Brandy, because of all the different spices and orange and stuff in it. The one that I made last year, I put too much sugar in. It's a bit too sweet. Still nice, but it was a bit too sweet. This one is absolutely lovely. It's spot on. You wouldn't want any more sugar in it, and it just coats, I don't know if you can see that, it just kind of, you probably can't see on the camera, but it just coats the side of the glass and you can kind of see it falling down. It's a bit thinner than last time I made it, but it tastes really nice. You can taste all the spices coming through very subtly. You can taste the orange, and it's not too sweet, so it's lovely. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. See, it's not too hard. Have a go at it yourselves, and let me know if anybody tries it. Let me know what you think. See if you're happy with it. I'm going to be doing some more cooking videos in the future. I've been up Scotland. I went up Scotland the end of October and did a bit of geese shooting. Geese and ducks, so I've got some of those in the freezer, so I'm going to be doing something with them. I went up to Yorkshire the other day and did a bit of rabbit shooting, and my good friend Kev Palmer has kindly donated me some ducks, some fresh ducks, so I'm actually going to do some duck and rabbit burgers this weekend. So keep tuned, and I hope you enjoy the brandy if you try it, and have a good Christmas and New Year. Bye bye.